Hello, welcome back to the second video in the series talking through the FoxTalksFinance Midi 12-month budget bundle spreadsheet, which covers 18 worksheets, of which 7 unique. So we went through previously introduction to the dashboard, the income tracker, expenses tracker, and the monthly expenses. So go to some of the more advanced features that come with this bundle, starting with the fact that in the way behind each of these core sections of expenses and incomes, we have a section for notes. Should you want to make any notes to remind yourself, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but you could put username, password, links to websites, or a note to remind yourself where that's from or where it's paid to, etc. And then, most pressingly here, column F, N, and V hidden away over here are date columns where you can enter in the date when a specific bill or payment income stream comes into your bank account. So in this case, similar to myself here, the payment date for the main income in the family is on the 25th of the month. There's another one due on the 5th of the month, and another on the 15th, some on the 1st, etc. And then in terms of bills here, we've got the rent in this case going out on the 1st, gas and electric going out together on the 7th, local taxes on the 14th, water and recycling on the 14th. You get the idea. So where you put the date in here, this specific bill gets assigned that date. That's become significant in some of the other tabs here. So first, if we go over to the bill calendar, you'll see here that we've got a calendar which is currently saying that we're in October, which obviously we are. Currently set to be live updating, so equal to now. But if we were to set that to a different date, say May, for argument's sake, notice that the days that it starts, the 1st moves to a Saturday because May 2021 started on a Saturday. Therefore, these bills have all moved along to different days of the month to correspond to the date. And in this case, you'll see it goes through the end of the month to the 31st. So if we choose a shorter month, it's February, you'll see it starts on the 1st in this case. February itself times out here, so the periods in which we're getting these bills go out are only earlier. Come back to having it now for October. With set as by default is set to live update. This formula means it will always get today's date. So as soon as it goes over to November, December, January, March, February, etc., that will update. You'll notice here we've got an amalgamation. What this is doing is consolidating the various bills that go out on that date. So we've got it programmed such that the rent, the home insurance, one of the investment brokerages, and our pension, which is labelled as a emergency fund. The only thing you really need to do to set anything up in here is to change column J to whatever it is you want to have in this column. So because we've got a few keys going on the first, you might want to give them a short name. So if I just fill that down for you, so it'll be as you find it, it will just use the full name, and you'll see this gets a bit bigger because we've got a few things going that day, so it takes up a big load of space. So insurance is the big one, so if we just call that home ins, shorten that down. GIA one for a general investment account. And you can see it shortens down to rent, home insurance, GIA, and our self-invested personal pension. It's a pension scheme here in the UK. So clearly this will be different to you, and all of this is live updating from some tables in the background, which link into the bill setup on the dashboard, and the dates you've put in, as we discussed, they align them to each date. So yours will be different. Obviously, as you go through setting up the dashboard, it will automatically update the validation in the background, which will then change the inputs to what goes in your bill calendar based on the dates. So if we go to the cash flow plan, it's a similar tab but different. So what we do here, start date is, for illustration, not particularly relevant, and honestly it models a hypothetical 31-day month. And what we're doing here is, again, admin in the background that is working out the total ins and outs based on your bill planning on the dashboard, so that your bills that are going out and your income that's due in on a day are assigned to that day of the month. And this then models the cash flow such that, given a starting balance that you fill in over here, will go through the month and give you an idea of where your balance should be. So you start in with 5,000, get 1,200 go out, 550 come in, so your net position 655 negative leaves you with 4,345. Note the axis for this is on the right hand side, so it's 5,000 there down to 4,345. The left axis shows the outs, the bills negative, and the ins, the income positive. Note we've got some 3s and 5s here. What's going on there is any of your expenses which you have set in the budget which do not have a fixed day where they are taken out will be spread across the month evenly. So if you've got food, for example, present that you haven't got a date on, it will just split those across the 30 days of the month. So we've got £100 or thereabouts worth allocated randomly without dates on it at the moment. This is useful for understanding, between your various paydays, yourself, family finances, where your bank balances should be, so that you know if you're kind of ahead or behind those positions. One is particularly helpful. So my mum and my wife tend to sometimes get a bit confused with the timing of things like credit card payments, and when you've got things that you're saving for that you've set automatically, how much money do you need to have in your bank account to cover those expected spends any one day. This helps them visualize how high, how low your balance is, and if you get to here and you've got 3,420, it's pretty good. And if you're above 5,000, great. And obviously it'll vary for everyone's bank balance. In this case, the minimum's a bit lower, so if we could be, say we are starting with a lower balance, our net position here drops from 2,500 at the start of the month down to around 900. Big payday boosts us back up, so we end the month a few £100 more than we started, which is good. And you can choose to save and invest that more, or have a bit of luxury, adjust your life to suit. This table here just simply consolidates that to what's going on any one week. Obviously, week 5 will be shorter than typical all months, but for illustration purposes, showing you income, bills, and your expected balance change for the month. There we go. That wraps up video 2.